2009 BMW 550 coolant reservoir bottle replacement. I'm Brian Eslick from How To Automotive, and I'm going to walk you through that process. Okay, to get started, what you really need to do is jack the car up and put a slide of bucket underneath, because you're going to lose a little bit of coolant. It's going to fall out. So I got my new bottle here, and as you can see, it's got 3 hoses attached to it. So we're going to disconnect the hoses on the bottom, the 2 hoses that are on the top, and then underneath there's going to be a sensor for the level sensor. We're going to unplug that too. So what you're going to need to do is have a tool like this, a hook tool, and they slide in right here on these, and they pry up, and you pull them up. So you pull them up until they connect like that, and then you can wiggle the hoses off. And they're usually on there pretty good. Sometimes you have to use like a little pry bar or a screwdriver and kind of pry a little bit. So when you pry them off, they'll pop up like that, and that's what the clips will look like. So go ahead and remove the top 2, and then if you get the top 2 off, we'll remove the bottom one. So when you pop the bottom one off, all the coolant's going to run out like so. So that's why you need the bucket underneath. And go ahead and remove that hose. And the way I did it was, as you can see, I popped the clip out like we did the other 2. But then I took the pry bar and just put it right next to the bottle here and pried it out like that to pop it off. Now you want to remove the 2 T25 Torx that hold the here and here on the bottle. Remove those. Set those aside for now. And now you can lift it up, and once it's up in the air like that, now you can get to the electrical connector for the sensor. And it has a squeeze tab, and you just squeeze and pull it. So now that we got our bottle out, what we want to do is we want to lube the seals up on these hoses, those little O-rings that are inside that seal the bottle. And you can use a little Molly grease, or in my case, I actually have this grease from the manufacturer that it's a lube that you can put it on. I don't have the part number. I'd give it to you guys, but I don't have it. But so you would lube the seals. And now we're going to take our new bottle and plug in our level sensor here first, and then we'll slide it down where that little stud on it goes into the hole right there, the grommet, and we'll push it down and then mount our 2 mounting screws. So after getting the bottle mounted, you're going to take your lower hose, go ahead and after it's lubed, then line it up, push it all the way on. And once it's all the way on, take the clip and push the lock clip down. Now you want to do is give it a good tug and make sure that it doesn't pop back off. Make sure that it's fully locked. Then you're going to do the top hose here the same way. You'll push it all the way in, push your lock tab on, give it a tug. Same thing with the next one. Give it a tug. Now the bottle is installed, we need to properly fill it up. These are called expansion tanks, so if you overfill these will pop. They'll cause something in the cooling system to burst, because there'll be no room for it to expand, and then it'll create too much pressure in the cooling system. So what we're going to do is we're going to, on the bottle, if you look here, there's a diagram. You're going to fill the coolant up until the bobber floats all the way up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to suck a little of the coolant out until the bobber is level with the neck, and I'll show you that. So you're going to use BMW approved coolant. It's a blue colored coolant. So as you can see, I got the coolant all the way full. It's full to the top. So now we need to remove some, and we're going to remove it until the bobber slowly goes all the way down, and it'll be level with the top, like that. That's where the bobber will be. Once you get the coolant down to that level, that's where the proper level is. On the old system, they used to have a bleeder screw. On this particular model, they don't have a bleeder screw. It's a self-bleeding one. So all we need to do is just remove the coolant until the bobber is floating level with the neck. Here at the shop, I have this device that here you just pump the handle and it removes the fluid. But if you don't have this, like a turkey baster works really well. So go ahead and remove some of your fluid. So there it is, the bobber floating just right at the top. So now you want to go ahead and, I recommend getting a new cap. So the reason why we changed it on this particular car was the float, the actual float bobber thing had broken off in there, and the float was stuck down. So that was the reason why we changed it. But there's a lot of times they crack too, so that would be another reason to change it. And that pretty much completes the service on replacing the coolant reservoir expansion tank on a 2009 BMW 550. I'm Brian Eslick from How To Automotive, and as always, it's my pleasure sharing my experience with you guys. And I encourage you to subscribe, and I'd like to thank you again for watching.